Hey everybody, and welcome to Dungeons & Dragons Neverwinter. This is Selrock, and I was planning on doing a little gameplay video of this. I'm not going to go into too much detail of the main game. I'm just going to give you the basics, and I've had a couple people request me to do this video, so I'm going to do it for you. I'm just going to go through a little bit of everything here. First off, here is your character screen. You have a half-orc, your human, your elf, or wood elf, whatever you want to call it, the half-elf, the dwarf, halfling, and the tiefling. Now, the tiefling is currently the character that I use for my main, so I'm going to go with it because I kind of know what's going on with it already, but he's pretty cool looking, so I like him. So, anyway, I've been playing this for, I don't know, a couple days now, and I thought it was kind of cool, so I figured I'd make a gameplay video, just to get the basics, try to, lure some more people into it maybe, and hopefully get a bigger fan base. It is in beta, and I'm going to post a link for the website here at the bottom in the description. So, if you like it, check it out. Open beta, all you gotta do is just sign up. It's 3.7 gigabytes to download. Doesn't take long at all. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead with the tiefling here. Now here you can choose the class. You got your rogue, like your typical rogue, stealth, got your daggers, I haven't tried this class. I'm more of, two-handed sword type person, so whatever you prefer. I've heard that they're good. I've seen people running around with them, and they can do some massive badass damage. You got a cleric, who is your healer, per se, in this. So, if you're a healer type, then this would be the one for you. Here's your control wizard. He's your basic, mage, he does the arcane magics, and, holds an orb, of course, as you can see, no chivalry. He uses ice. Again, I've seen people play with this, and it's pretty good. Got your great weapon fighter, which is the class that I am. They're pretty cool, whenever you're dashing, which you can dash in this is really nice. So it's really cool cutscene. It kind of looks like, Cloud did in Final Fantasy VII, running with the Buster Sword on his back, it's pretty cool. But anyway, this is the one I use. He's more of your DPS type, or two-handed DPS. Anyway. Here's your Guardian Fighter. He's more of the tank of the game. Of course, if you're played as a tank before, it's probably going to be around the same thing, shield, sword, whatnot, but they look pretty cool. I haven't really experimented with them yet. I'm going to go through each one of them eventually on my own and test out each one, see which one I like, but so far I like the Great Weapon Fighter. And then there's one coming soon, which I don't know what it is because it is in beta. It's an open beta. It should be coming. Hopefully it'll be soon when it goes into a full game, but the beta's pretty cool. It offers a lot, It's free to play. You pay what you want to play. If you want to buy something in the game store, like mounts, and such, you can do that, but you're not required to, which is the best part of this, is you can keep everything that you have in the game without buying it. You just gotta work for it, which I think is a better trade-off, in my opinion, than going to spend the money on it. But anyway, I'm going to choose the Great Weapon Fighter, because of course I'm familiar with that. Now here is your abilities. You can roll for new abilities down here until you get something that you like, with your strength, your constitution, which is your health, stamina, and your vital force. The dexterity, which is your agility, reflexes, all that. Intelligence is how well it learns. Got your wisdom, common sense, perception, self-discipline, empathy, your charisma, your personality, persuasiveness, and leadership. Now, down here you got your racial ability bonus. You can choose one of them. This one right here is +2 to charisma, +2 to constitution, or you can pick +2 to charisma, +2 intelligence. Now, me personally, I pick the +2 charisma and the +2 constitution because, of course, you got your health, stamina, and your vital force. And then you also have your constitution. I already said that. Okay. The charisma, which is persuasiveness, kind of leadership, as you can see. I picked that because the intelligence, I don't think it's a great trade-off, so I'm just going to go with the numbers I got here just for the sake of the video. So I'm going to keep going. Now, one of the things I like about this game is there's so much you can do with your character. There is all kinds of stuff that you can do, like customization. So you're free to play with it as much as you want when you get in here. So you got different builds, a little way their horns are, but you can change any of this. This is just the presets right here. So just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna pick the first one and just hit customize. Okay, you can go into your head shape. So I'm gonna go with chiseled because I think he looks a little more badass, which I'll zoom in so that we can see the difference in them. You know, natural, wide, full. I like the chisel, to be honest. Your hair, you know, you can pick whatever you want. This is the one I picked for my main character, but anyway, go down here, you can choose the color of it, you know, pick red. Your eyes, there's only one. You can't do the eyebrows, facial hair. The complexion, you can do whatever you want, elderly, old, warm, you can make him look young, of course, but I'm gonna pick what I am, handsome, haha. Anyway, you can pick your color, which I like. I like to have it a little bit dark, you know, demon looking, a little darker. You know. You can also customize your horns, which is really cool. I like that. So this is the one where something I picked that one because it just, I don't know, it just stood out for me and made it look cool. You know, go down here, tattoos. You know, I'm gonna go through each one so we can see. So you've got all of these. I'm not sure, I haven't done it with any other characters yet, but I'm sure you got more customizable stuff you can do with each character. You know, I'm sure everything is different for each one, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to do this one. So, I picked the Gothic because it makes him look a little more demon-like. So, let me go through the rest of them so you can see the rest of them. Back up here to the Gothic. You can go down here to scars. You know, it's not necessary if you want them. You kind of can see it, but sometimes you can't. You know, I guess it depends on the complexion that you pick. I like the color, so you know, I'm gonna pick the left eye, even though you can't really see it all that well. But anyway, face scaling, I'm not gonna mess with this because you know it's whatever. You know, I'm gonna keep the default tone. You can also do that, but anyway, so we're gonna continue. Okay, this right here is what really got me excited about this game, is you can pick a deity based on what you want. You can go down here and look at the description for it, pick the one that you feel is the best, like, you know, this one is for the god of the sun and time, you know. You got this one for, I really don't know what all of them mean, but, I haven't really researched too much into that. You know, I guess each one of them is just a different one. You like, this is a skilled warrior, so I'm guessing that helps you with, you know, just things of, let's see, there's the, you know, it kind of helps you with, if you're like a warrior or something, I guess it kind of helps. I don't know. Like I said, I've tried. But, you know, you can go through each one of them and read and just pick one. I personally like this one, the God of Law, because it's pretty cool, you know, because, but anyway, this is the greatest part right here. I like this. So you see up here on the map, you got your Luskin, Neverwinter. These are your towns. You know, Baldur's Gate. If you've ever played Baldur's Gate, then that's going to be a big deal for you right there. But you can pick where you want to start, and each one of these is different starting areas. You know, so you can pick to your heart's content there. I personally did the North Dark. And down here, you go down to the arrow and click it, and you can pick your story, which I think is really cool because it means you can have a different story for each character. It's really nice. Like, I can pick the same starting area, but have a different storyline. You know, so it kind of gives a little bit of your character's background and stuff, so it kind of just helps out there. So you have your character origins here. You can pick which one that you want. Just go through it, read them, see which one you like. Personally, I did the Underdark Exile, where you violate laws of your people in the North Dark and have them banished as that's cool. Anyway, I'm just going to continue. And here's your overview. Character name, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to name it Cheese Knuckles. Now, I know one of you that watches this video is going to get this. Anyway, there's the character, loading screen. It's got really good cinematics to it, really good graphics. At the beginning of it, you have, whenever you first get into the game, like, before all the character screens and stuff, you can go, there's a cinema that plays. That's it.
Hey, are you alright?
So anyway, you move around with the WASD keys. Of course, forward, back, side to side. The mouse controls your camera.
Wilfred. Press F when close to
if you want to look over here, just move the mouse, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's go over here and talk to this gentleman. Press F to talk to them.
Thank the gods.
This right
When
here,
I saw the
click.
Adventure, I can guarantee.
Path leads to your next objective.
Okay, it's just your next quest. You need to pick up a quest. Now, if you look on the ground here, you have a trail that kind of helps you go to where you want to go. So it kind of leads you to your quest.
Press F to interact with characters and objects.
This up, which is apparently on my line of sight. Okay, search the wreckage. There's a breastplate. Okay, so of course you have your press I for inventory to get your C for character. Going to equip those.
Press the Alt key to toggle mouse cursor and mouse look modes.
So you can look around, you can, of course, like I just said, you can toggle
displays current quest
camera angles, things like that, how you want to control everything. So, go up here to, now, to attack, you press the left button on the mouse. The right button on the mouse will be your secondary attack whenever you pick it up. So, up here, dash is
Campfires or rest zones where out-of-combat players may heal.
Now this right here, you stand in it and it heals you. It's a little checkpoint pretty much while you're in like dungeons and like single-player instances, things like that. They'll have these to where if you die, you'll respawn at this point at one of the fires that's inside of the dungeon itself as long as you've got to it. Which I think is a really neat thing, so we don't have to start all the way at the beginning. I kind of like that. Let's go over and talk to this gentleman.
Good to meet you. It's good to see someone survive the attack on the ship. When you feel ready, please speak to me again. I'm afraid I need your...
So, battlefield triage, get first aid to soldiers
the
on the
battle is far
battlefield.
from over. The battlefield is crawling.
So, like I said, you look down, gives you a little mad little dust trail, I guess.
Sure strike, damaging all foes in
it kind of tells you where to go. So you go over
Having
here.
your reticule over objects and enemies to target them.
Come over here and fight, like I said. Left mouse button attacks. And another cool thing is your health does not regen. You have to... You'll get healing potions later on to where you just hit it and it heals you. Try to save these guys.
Be careful out there!
Another one was right here. That's the end of that quest. Once I hit getting...
Thanks.
Alright, so up in the map, you see your little diamond up there. It's telling you where to go turn it in. Now, it's not like your traditional MMO where you can just move around and hit your button to, hit your button to attack, go down to your inventory, you can click on your inventory backpacks and all that. If you want to do that, The only thing you can do is hit Alt, and you got control of your mouse here. You can go up here and hit, there's your character status, you know, home page, Zen, which is kind of the money that you use to buy in the game store. You know, you use your own money to buy the Zen and all that jazz. Anyway, you can go around, look, auction, house, you know, it's just your basics. So you hit Alt again to start, go back here. Let's go to our quest tournament. Of course, you have a little stamina. So once you have, once you're out of stamina, of course, you can't run no more. If you look down at the bottom of the screen, when you get down here and point at it, this little bar right here is your stamina bar. When it runs out, of course, you can't run no more. It fills up pretty quick, so you really don't have to worry about it too much.
We were lucky to drive Valentia. Thank you for
Guide
aiding the wounded.
displays everything you get for leveling up.
I'm afraid I have a gruesome task, buddy. We've driven Valentia.
So, okay, I gained a level, so what you do is hit U, go down here, you know, okay, here's your powers. You know, here's your regular racial skills, you know, based on your class and what, if you chose to be a tank, DPS, mage, whatever. Here's your combat powers. Now, I can use the Reaping Strike, which is going to be my secondary attack on the right, on the right, yeah. So, there's that, dismiss. So now I've got this attack, you can charge up, spin. You know, that's like a wide range attack. You have 2 or 3 enemies on you, you can attack them all.
For extra damage.
So let's go down here and get these arrows. Let's take one of those. And here's your little attack here, which is pretty cool. They shatter. It's pretty nice.
Valindra. I don't know how Valindra got a Dragonage. Perhaps a deal with the cult of the dragon.
Skeletons.
The important thing is that we deprive her of it.
It's a really interesting
When
game.
a Dragonage is
not like most traditional
spirit
MMO, like
returns to a
WoW, things
special
like that. It's got a
phylactery.
little bit of extra
From
stuff,
there,
in my
it
opinion.
can possess the body of another dragon and be reborn. This Dracolich's spirit has not departed yet. I am trying to bind it here.
And you just walk
If
over
it
the money
cannot
to pick it
return
up.
to the
I
phylactery,
like
we
that
may be able to destroy it.
body to loot.
Deprive
There's-
Valindra of a
From what I've
powerful
noticed
ally.
is you don't loot for bodies in this. So I guess that's a good thing, you know. So you've got, you can pick stuff up going around. There's treasure chests, dungeons, like the single player instances, things like that. They're all around the place, so you don't loot off of people. Like, for example, here you go, here's a treasure chest, you know, here's where you get your loot and everything from your game. Let's take all that, so let's go to my backpack, which is inventory. Okay, so down there is, if you look at the bottom here, there's your potions. This is where it'll put your consumable items. And as you progress through the game, like I said, I'm not going to do this long, but you know, you got your tab. You're going to have your skills and things up here. They're going to unlock later, which are pretty easy to access because you got your tab, Q, E, R. You know, and F, of course, is talk to everybody, and then 1 and 2 are going to be your special, special abilities. Like you'll gain action points, and so you'll get all these really cool powers that you can use, and you can assign to 1 and 2. It's really neat. The more that you hit an enemy, the more you get your action points as you progressively as you hit the enemies more and more. So let's go to quest tournament. Follow our little sparkle.
You found some ammunition. We must drive the...
Never mind. Let's go over here and do what I'm supposed to do. Put the arrows into the barrel. Now we can progress. Lovely.
Thank you for the help. The Red Wizards haven't... More undead
Kill
are
undead
attacking
soldiers and
Neverwinter.
go to the Sleeping
They're
Dragon
boiling out of
Bridge.
Castle Never and storming the
So,
Sleeping
level
Dragon
3.
Bridge. If the bridge
picked up
falls, they
another
will enter the heart of the city. Protector's
It's very
enclave.
cool. So, as
I
you
must
see down
stay
there,
and deal with the Red
I
Wizards.
have another
Please,
power
go
that's
to
in
the
the cube
bridge and
slot,
aid
not
the
so fast.
defenders. Destroy the
it's like a
undead
spinning
soldiers
slice,
near
you
the
know,
gate
attacks
to our
all
north
enemies
so it may
around
be
you.
open
It's a very
safely.
nice skill to have
Then
when you
talk
get
to
overrun,
Private Wilfred.
which
Rescue
it's really
trees
not that
allow
bad when you
spinning
get
strikes
overrun
at
this because
enemies'
you have
legs,
so many abilities
temporarily
that you can
slowing
actually attack multiple enemies. Let's see. Let me get a couple here. Get me. Come on, get me. Bet you can't. Okay, so you hit Q. It'll attack everything behind you. So it's in front of me. So let's kill some undead. It's got a cooldown on it, which doesn't take that long to go home. I think it's something around 10 seconds or so. Check. So let's go down here, kill one more of them. I'm gonna kill 3 more of them just right. So you got 15 seconds. It's first. Let's talk to Private Wilfred.
Hello again. You're looking a good deal
Thanks, let's
fiercer
hurry.
than when
I
you
wanna
washed
hear
up
you
on the
talking.
beach.
Shut your trap.
Drying out by the fire would
Left
do.
click on a
Anyway,
visible
so
My
location
mother
to
always
now you
says
can
warm
click up
clothes
here to
make
the
for a
Sleeping
warm
Dragon
heart.
Bridge and travel.
You've been...
I like the artwork in this. It's very, I think it looks really nice. So, that's another good thing.
They're in trouble. We must go to their aid.
So, fight your way to the
and a
gatehouse.
movement key to sprint away from enemies.
Look out! Archers!
Sprint when you're stabbed at blow.
They just keep coming!
See, there are a lot of enemies at some points, which is really fun to have because it just keeps the action going and going, you know. And as you can tell, your health doesn't go down too much. It doesn't take a while for it to, I mean, it takes a while for you to die. So as long as you keep an eye on that health bar, you should be fine because of the potions. Getting potions usually give you 1,000 health. So, which is really nice because it pretty much fills your bar all the way back up. Let's see how many things do you have. Oh, okay, so you only have 495 when you have a full bar. This gives you 1,000 instantly, so it's good for the beginning levels, I guess. I'm gonna get us to the main town, and that's probably as far as I'm gonna go. It's a pretty fun game, like I said, so if you like it, I'll post a link, like I said, in the description to the website. So just go on there, sign up. If you already have a Star Trek Online account, then, which I know a few people that do, so if you do have that, then don't worry about signing up for a new account because you can just use that because it's for the perfect world. So, you can just use that. Just download the game. Like it says, 3.7 gigs. Very quick to download. Shouldn't take more than an hour. Depending on your internet connection. Mine didn't take more than an half or so. Okay, so now I'm level 4. Alright, let's see what we got. New daily power. These are really cool. This is what I was telling you about, the little orange thing down here with the triangle and all that. That's your daily power. The more that you hit with melee attack, the quicker it fills up. And so whenever it's full, you can use your attack. So dismiss that. Also unlocked another power called Destroyer. It's a class feature. It increases your damage by 2%. When you hit more than 3 enemies with a single attack, so it helps. Stacks 3 times. It's always good. Let's go over here. Now here's your loot. Sometimes people that drops off of them, and it's just laying on the ground. You just go up to it and hit F instead of having to bend down like in WoW or traditional MMOs and have to search through the bag for what you want. So it kind of helps. It's a lot different. I guess that's what turned me onto this game so much, is that it's different than MMOs that I've
We're going to make it.
I think that's just, it's a lot different. Very
Press spacebar to jump.
spaces to jump, of course, in most games. Let's take these. Health. Can never have enough health. That's for sure. So, I'm going to demonstrate the daily power. Let's go over here, hit 1. And you got it. So if you've ever had a Fury Warrior in World of Warcraft, then you know what the whirlwind is. So here we go. Progress. Here comes a boss. I like the bosses in this. They're really cool. They're not too hard to beat, but they're fun to fight against nonetheless. Anyway. Freedom! Oh shit. Oh shit. Of course, as you can see, this is the Harbinger. You know, if you time your stuff correctly, you can dodge the enemies by just running away from them. Me, I just like to hit and just keep hitting. If I get hit, well, I got all these health potions to help. As I run away from the first little bitch. Daily power again. That's a good amount of damage to him. Another thing about this game is you go over here, you've got identification scrolls. So you get, kind of like Diablo was, you've got items that you pick up, you got to identify them. So you have, like this right here, the boots. You do is left click, identify, boom. There you go, got boots. Boom.
Sorry. You have to...
And that was the intro for the character. Really nice, in my opinion. Kind of like it. Graphics are nice. So, if I'm not mistaken, it transports you to the beginning town, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. The Protector's Enclave, which is like your first major city that you go into. Really neat. It's pretty big, you know. It's about, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's as big as Orgrimmar in World of Warcraft, but at the same time, it's pretty decent size. It's got a lot of things to go do in it. You finally see people, actual people. Here's your dwarf. So, but anyway, here we are. It's the main town. I'm gonna show you the map real quick. So this is your town. You know, go up there, get your next quest. I think it sends you into a sewer or something like that. But I think I'm going to cut it right here because I'm getting a little bit low on time here. If you like it, great. If you don't, it's not everybody's cup of tea. But hopefully you liked it. I'm on the server Mind Flayer. My main character's name is Selrock, just as my name. If you want to add me, you can. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one.